Hello and welcome to the Digit Guy Education series of After Effects tutorials with your host Robert Smith. In this final video in this series we're going to put it all together. We've been making many comps, we've imported assets into our project window, we've manipulated them on the timeline. Now it's time to trim them. So let's start with the intro. If I just go to my project window, double click on the intro like this, I'm going to grab that and drag it to about there. As the last bit of lettering goes off like that, that's how long we want that to be. We want to trim it at that point. Now to do that, I'm going to use a really good shortcut. If I press the letter N like this, watch what happens. You'll notice that this blue thing goes from here to here. So now that's the end of this timeline. Whatever is past that, we won't see. And to make that nice and neat, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the Command key down, and watch this, a bit tricky, and click on this little grey area here, the work area, make that the Control key I should say, and trim comp to work area. And now my comp is exactly the length I want it to be. Let's do the next one. If I go to the outro like this, very nice indeed. Okay. Let's add a little bit of text here at this, which I forgot to put in the last video, so I'm going to do that now. In this comp, I'm just going to type in no, it's a little bit big, so I'll double click on that and make it a bit smaller. And no weird stuff here. Good name for a startup company. .com. I'll grab that and I'll put that down the bottom down here as a contact, if you like. Okay. Right, spelling mistake there. No weird stuff here.com. That's as good as any name I've heard recently. Fantastic. Okay, so let's trim this now. We want this to be 5 seconds long. Let me show you how to take this thing here and put it to the end of this layer here, which is the end of the video. To do that, if I press the letter O, it'll take me to the out point of that layer. In this case, it's there. Then I'm going to press the letter N, like that, hold the Control key down, and trim comp to work area, clicking in that grey area. Okay, let's do the print digital one. The same thing we did before. Let's move along till we find it just disappears off about there. It disappears. We'll press the letter N, hold the Control key down and click here, and trim comp to work area, like that. Now the slide masters, let's do that. This is the quick one. We zoom right in. I'm going to have to zoom right in to see this one, like that. Now we want it to be exact. So to do that, I'm going to select the final layer. That's the last layer of this series, like that. I've clicked on the last layer, press the letter O again to get the out point of that layer. And just might move it away now, just move it to there, like that. Okay, again, press the letter N, hold the Control key down and trim comp to work area. Beautiful. Okay, let's do the Slide Masters slow. This one here, do the same thing. The last layer, click on it, press the letter O to find the out point, press the letter N for Nelly, hold the Control key down and trim comp to work area. So now all of my comps are the right length. We just trimmed them all. That was a pretty painless operation. Okay, now here's a bit of a weird concept. What we're going to do now is we're going to take all of those compositions and put them inside another composition, like a master composition, if you like. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to composition new comp or Apple N. I'm going to call this master timeline to be more specific, like that. 25 frames per second, 15 seconds is good, and OK. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab all of these compositions here by selecting the first one, holding the Shift key down, selecting the last one like that. I'm going to click and just drag them all down onto the, drag them all down into the new master timeline composition. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I see why it's not doing that. Here's a trick you'll do all the time. What I've done is I've selected the master timeline comp here too, and I'm trying to drag it into itself. And this, what happens? Watch what happens. This will happen to you late at night. It always does. And to fix that, just hold the command key down and deselect the master timeline. Now drag them down. That's exactly what you want. Okay, let's have a look at the order we want to sequence these. We're going to sequence these exactly the same way we sequence the still images. Okay, great. So the first one we want is intro. So I'll click on intro like that. Then I'll hold the command key down and put slide masters quick like that. Then slide master slow. Then print digital and then outro. I'll just click on them in that order. And when I go to sequence them, let's do that now. Animation keyframe assistant sequence layers. No overlap. What a beautiful thing that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be nearly exactly 15 seconds. It's not okay. We need to shorten a few things. We can do that in a minute. That's not a problem. But let's have a look at it. Now we've sequenced those compositions. Comes the first one like that. Off it goes. Then the fast bit. Then the slow bit. Like that. Okay, as you can see, we've got a bit of a problem at the end. They don't fit. We should have been a bit more accurate with our compositions, but again, no big deal. We can just go in here like this. And what we might do is go into this long one here, the slideshow one. And to do that, I'm just going to double click on the slide master slow, this one here. As you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab each one of these and just drag them about that much. So I'll end up with about this much on my timeline, which is about what I want. So I'm just shortening the time that they'll appear inside that one composition. That's what we want. Very nice indeed. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to select that last layer, O for out point, N for end, and I'm going to trim comp to work area. Okay, if I go back to my master timeline now, it all seems a bit complicated, doesn't it? But it's, once you get used to it, it's quite easy actually. I'm going to select all of these two layers here by holding the shift key down and just moving those to the left just a little bit like that. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Very nice indeed. So what I've done, I've put together a promotional piece or a promotional video. And again, it needs a little bit of tweaking. Some of it's a bit slow here and there. Maybe that's a little bit too long at the start. That's a bit slow, that transition. I quite like that. That's good. That's a nice teaser amount of time for that. And then we come in here. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do. And perhaps a little bit at the end. Okay, looking really good. We also imported a file, a cheesy Apple loop file. And here it is, backtrack.aif. I'm going to grab that and just drag it straight down onto the timeline like this. And let's play it. A little bit of music, never goes astray. I don't know if that's the right music. But as you can see, I now have a presentation. I could put this on Instagram. And it'd be a great little teaser. Okay, now to actually finalize it, I need to actually make a movie out of it. And to do that, I'm going to go to like this. I'm going to composition, add to media encoder queue. Now you have to be part of the Creative Cloud to have this Adobe Media Encoder. And if you don't have it, I'd suggest you do download it. So I'm going to click here like this. And it takes a little while to open. Okay, now what I want to do, is that it there? There it is there. It's taking a while to load that file. There it is here. Okay, a very unimposing interface. We've got lots and lots of presets over here, but this, the thing you want to look at is this here. You want it to be H.264 out of there, like that. You want to match source high bitrate. Make sure that says that. And all you have to do then is click here like that and say where do you want to put it. Now, I'll put it in here, and I'll just call this design, like that. Design take one, for example. We might have to go in and tweak it when we look at it, and click save. And that's it. Then press this little green button like this, And away it goes, making your movie. Now this is in .mp4 format, and there's not much happening here. It's not taxing it too much, so it's happening pretty quickly. This can take all night depending on how many effects. Once you start to use a massive amount of effects, you'll see what I mean. Now if I can go in there and find that file, that video file, I'll just shut down the Photoshop. I don't think we'll be needing that now. And there it is there. I'll just double click on it. Let's have a look at our fabulous bit of work. Might even make it full screen. Again, this will look fabulous on a phone, especially a Retina display phone like the Apple iPhone or the Samsung latest. And that's it. Okay, Apple F to get out of that. Okay, so there's a basic introduction to creating a video in After Effects. What we did, we imported assets, we created assets, we put it all together, and then we output as a movie. That is the After Effects workflow. I hope you enjoyed it, because After Effects is really a fantastic application and well worth the effort. Okay, thanks for watching.